would you say? Right? So what they have found, and they found these are all, 67 of them are all endocrine disruptors. And what does that mean? So once again, I went to the National Institute of Health. Again, I'm using government data. And this is posted, the last review in 2010 for endocrine disruptors. So what do you get at looking at this? Shaking your head. It affects, good job. It affects everything, right? It affects all your functions. So what endocrine disruptors does is it disrupts all these systems, right? So, and how does it do that? How does it do that is that, so these are all hormonal systems. So how it works is that we have a cell and hormones and the cell work together like a lock and key, literally. So what endocrine disruptors, it can disrupt this function in 3 different pathways. One is that it will act just like one of the hormones. It will get in the key and make you do things like as if your body is asking it to do certain things. Or it can block up the space so your hormone from your body can't get in there. The third way is actually it affects how your liver either generates and process the hormones. Okay. So there's 3 ways, there's 3 different ways that endocrine disruptors, chemicals in the environment that can act like our hormones. So most of the time we say, okay, well, but these are all really very small concentration, right? So it doesn't really matter. What the studies have found recently is that when the harm is actually the greatest when the concentration is really low. Somehow it affects sort of your immune systems, so it's not on guard, it's letting it go through. So actually at very low levels, it's able to produce a lot of harm. And so another way to look at it is like sometimes so we're looking at effects of what's being considered as being safe, and all these chemicals below what's considered safe are causing all kinds of problems that we are able to measure. So its possibilities when it's at different higher levels, there are effects that we are not able to measure. Right? So there's just all kinds of possible explanations. But what we do know is that even at very low levels, there are effects. And once again, this is from the health department. Next one, please. So what are the effects? And these are the effects that are suggested by testing with animals. So in other words, like you said earlier, it affects everything, right? Basically. Are we seeing problems in these areas in our society? Absolutely. It's not like, oh, you know, this could happen. It is happening. So here is one possible explanation. Your household products. your air fresheners. So next one, please. And they have also been linked to obesity and diabetes. And are they on the rise in our society? Yes. Absolutely. We have huge problems with obesity and diabetes. And now we're finding it has something to do with everything we use every single day. Next one. And the next piece that is scary from the report is that a lot of these chemicals, they persist in the environment. Some of them have been banned, like DDT, for decades, and they're still showing up in the environment and in our blood. So the National Institute of Health recently did a study. They started tracking for the past few years, started tracking these chemicals in the population, and they're still finding them, now, even after they've been banned for decades. Next one. So I'll go back. What happened? So we looked at formaldehyde. Let's look at what else is in our house. So I'm going to give you a few minutes to sort of take a look at that. Now, we know what carbon monoxide is, right, for stoves and heaters, and we know that. We know what asbestos is. We talked about that. We talked about radon and cigarette smoke, and we talked about dust and all this stuff, and nitrogen oxide from burning again. We know these things, yeah? But what about all these others? Methylene chloride, all these others. What about them? Guess what? They are all volatile organic compounds, and they are all endocrine disruptors. That's what they all have in common. So we talked about formaldehyde. We know it's more than just this furniture. This is from dry cleaning. Those of you who came for the water one, we actually talked about chemicals used for dry cleaning. So when you take it to dry cleaning, you bring it back, it is giving this stuff out in your closet. Right? And here is another chemical in air fresheners. So formaldehyde isn't the only one that's coming out from the air fresheners, and mothballs, all the stuff that we try to deal with our air is actually causing problems for us. And here again, it's sort of aerosol salt sprays, again from air fresheners, again, an endocrine disruptor. What about chloroform? Everybody knows what that is, yeah? What about that? Why is that in your house? Well, from here it says, from your shower, when you're taking a shower, you're actually getting a very big dose of chloroform, because our water, to disinfect our water, the cheapest way to disinfect our water is using chlorine. So this is what we do, because it's the cheapest way to do it. So there's water in your chlorine, and when you're taking a shower, you make that water hot and spraying it out. So you're mixing that chlorine with what? Good job. You're mixing it with air, hot air, and water, and it forms chloroform. So you're just like, you're getting stuff you didn't know you're getting when you're having a shower. You come out feeling so good. Okay. That shower is so refreshing. Okay. Well, what that is, you can actually buy these shower heads to try to minimize that, to take out the chlorine. So that is one possible solution to that. So here, actually, next one. So this is an 18th century illustration on the effect of chloroform. In case, just for fun. Okay, wait, can you go back? So when you're coming out of your shower, feeling really, really flexed, feeling like lying down, there may be other reasons for it. So next one, please. So it's not just from the water, the chlorine from the water. It is from the chlorine of the water, but it's not just in your shower. It turned out study shows that when you combine triclosan, you mix triclosan with chlorine in the water, it also makes chloroform. And what is triclosan? And do I have that in your house? The answer is yes. And what is it? Let's look at what is it. It's a pesticide. And what is pesticide doing in your house? Well, it's in everything, actually. If you look, all
that hand soap.
All that hand soap. It's an antibacterial hand soaps and toothpaste. Huh? Shampoo is in, okay, let's look at some of the products that contain, okay, so what is interesting, again, assessment, right? So the EPA, so the triclosan is governed by both EPA and the FDA. It's governed by EPA because it's used as a pesticide. It's also governed by the FDA because why? It's in your toothpaste. It's actually in food also. It's in a lot of things that food gets in touch with because it's antibacterial. It's sort of what am I saying?
Yeah. Antibacterial.
I'm trying to say antibiotic. It's an antibiotic, okay? So it's actually an antibiotic. And so according to the EPA, we need to do more research. That's definitely potential harm, and sort of studies is really warranted. And so the EPA is now currently supposedly scheduling a review of triclosan. I think it's scheduled for 2013 or something like that. The next one, please. But the FDA says it's okay for the use in your house. The EPA says there's lots of reasons for concern, for evidence, but EPA says it's okay, you can keep using it. And what is really interesting, not only the EPA thinks, the FDA thinks that you can continue to use it, then it continues to say, it goes on to say, that in some products it provides a benefit, for other products, actually majority of products, it shows no effect. It basically doesn't do you any good. It's no different from just washing your hands with regular soap. You don't really need the antibiotic at all. Well, it's not that, I'm not saying, so let me take it back again. It's that study has shown it doesn't really show an effect. Okay? So, and some products, in fact, I keep searching, so what product has it been beneficial? There's only one thing I was able to find that's beneficial. It's actually from the EPA. I couldn't find that website again. I didn't have enough time. But the only thing that's found effective is in toothpaste. And what it does is actually reduce possibility of gum inflammation. Right? So you know how sometimes your gum gets swollen, you brush your teeth, you bleed, right? So that's one thing that you can help prevent is gum inflammation. But there's a study from Oxford University that showed that if you're using fluorine, then you are just as effective as triclosan. So you actually don't, and some toothpaste use both. And it's actually absolutely unnecessary. And when I went on to Mayo Clinic, how many of you use Mayo Clinic online? It's really, really like nice website, you know, about different kind of like medical stuff, right? Right? So I looked up the gum inflammation, right? So the advice is brush and floss your teeth. You don't really need what? You don't need antibiotic, you know. The advice is just brush your teeth and flossing your teeth regularly. In fact, I've stopped using toothpaste now for over a year. And recently, and I talked to my dentist. I said, is this okay? My dentist says, it's fine, don't worry about it. And I've had no problem with my teeth since I stopped using toothpaste. And a couple of months ago, I was going to brush my teeth. My husband's toothpaste was right there, right? I said, oh, maybe just put it on, you know. I don't know what possessed me. I put some toothpaste on. I put it in my mouth. I just gagged. You know, after you don't use it for a while, you know, you're used to it, you don't feel it. But when you don't use it for a while, it's I kept washing my mouth, you know, putting it, get it out.
What do you use it instead?
Nothing. I don't use anything. Just water, yeah, nothing.
What about baking soda?
Yeah.
You can do that, definitely. There's all kinds of alternatives we're going to look at later on, absolutely. Right. Next one, please. So these are some of the products that's in triclosan. And I love the word they use, like pure, healthy body. So good for you. The next one, please. And here are all other products that contain triclosan.
Okay, total. It's so expensive.
Oh, yeah. That's
like $4 a tube.
That's what you're paying for. You're paying for the extra pesticide in there for you. So what happens when you brush your teeth with triclosan? Possibility is you will mix with water, and that's been treated with chlorine, and it will form now chloroform. Ooh. Calm down for bedtime. Brush for 5 minutes.
We tell our kids to brush their teeth.
Exactly. Brush longer.
I know.
So here's actually, you can find all this online. Again, I think this is from the website called Our Stolen Future. So it's a list of products that contains triclosan that you can, look at what's in there though. First aid, well, okay, I can understand first aid, but soap, dental care, cosmetics, deodorant, so you're putting on your skin, so you're taking your mouth, you put it in the skin, you're breathing it in, and it's all.
Steak knife set, so you're using it to cut your food?
Yeah. Like I said, they're putting a lot of stuff near food, to make it safe. So you should not get sick. In toys.
Computer equipment.
Huh?
Computer equipment.
Exactly. It's everywhere. Like the EPA says, it's coming up, coming from thousands of products in your home, right? So I think, and you keep getting different numbers. You keep getting different estimations. Some say one of the EPA websites says, 80,000 consumer products, 80 different chemicals in consumer products. Some say different numbers. And what does that tell you? We don't know. We just know there's lots. We don't know. Next one, please. So in that, going back to that study of the 120 homes, so what they found was like 100%, in other words, all the homes had phthalates in them. And 90% of them have parabens. Like, what are they? Now, phthalates actually is a chemical that makes plastic soft. So almost all plasticware